Hey everybody, it's Joe with J Blake Photo. I'm prepping for a big trip that I'm about to go on, so I'm packing up all my gear. I'm going to do another video just about that, but before I get all packed up, I wanted to do just a really quick kind of talking head piece about the new Canon mirrorless that just got released, the Canon M50. And the reason that I wanted to talk about it, because I don't have one. Canon, if you'd like to send me an M50 to test, I'd be happy to test it. But I don't have one, and one of the things that I've noticed in the last couple of days, and I've had a lot of people who know I'm into photography and into technology who've asked me if what my thoughts were on this new camera. I don't normally get a lot of questions from friends and family and coworkers about stuff like this, at least not at this level, which kind of tells me that the release of this camera has almost burst through the tech gadget photography vlogosphere and into more of the mainstream. And part of that might be because it's the first affordable camera really that Canon has made that shoots in 4K. And I think that that's a big deal, and a lot of people have asked me my thoughts on it since they know that I do a lot of this and I don't currently shoot in 4K. So I have a couple of thoughts, and they basically are this. Number one, the body looks amazing. I'm really happy with the idea of a very small camera. I was really excited actually when I switched from the Canon 7D, and this is an APS-C crop sensor camera with a magnesium alloy body, when I switched to the 6D Mark II, which is an aluminum body from what I understand, aluminum and composite, and it was considerably lighter, even though it's a full frame camera. That might not be true in reality if you look at the measurements, but to me it felt lighter. It felt like the center of gravity was a little bit different, and having that lighter weight really was a nice thing. Now, you have the same thing when you walk around with your smartphone. The idea is that it's small, it's easy to carry. You could even carry with a really small lens. One of the nicer things that I like to do if I'm going somewhere and I'm looking for something really small is I'll just bring my 50mm. This is a super lightweight lens, and it really makes it easier to carry around your kit. So that's one of the big advantages, is that small body, that really small size. Some of the specs on it look amazing, right? It shoots in 4K. It's got high resolution. It's got a ton of AF points, right? Because it's mirrorless, so you can make the whole sensor basically AF points. And it's got that high quality electronic viewfinder. So just awesome. Lots of really great features. Here's where it starts to fall down for me. Well, hold on. The price. At less than $800, that is an awesome camera. Like, that is phenomenal. I know a lot of people who are doing street photography, who are doing videography, who are doing stuff where they need something small and easy to carry. And they just, that's the perfect spot for them. Also, sorry, it's got the flippy out screen, right? Which is the reason why I got the 6D Mark II and not a more expensive 5D Mark IV. So the screen was a huge part of this because I knew that I was going to be doing this and I needed to be able to see myself. And if I can't see myself and I can't see, right now I've got my audio levels, I've got my shutter speed, my aperture, how many hours I've got, right? There's a ton of information on that screen, not to mention I can just see that I'm framed properly and that I've got this little box around my face because the Canon dual pixel AF is looking at my face. So I can come in a little bit closer, I can come out. That's where it gets really important for me on the M50. So a couple of things. Number one, it does shoot in 1080 60. It also shoots at 720 240. I've had a lot of people say that 720 240, what is that, right? I was shooting 720 60 on the Canon, on the 7D. This would shoot in 1080p 30 and 720 60. And if I wanted to do B-roll, that slow, smooth B-roll, and slow it down, I needed to shoot in 720p. Let me tell you, it doesn't look that bad. I wouldn't put it on my, my 65-inch downstairs, but I would absolutely put it on my YouTube channel. I have. If you look at some of the hiking vlogs that I did towards the latter part of last year, there's a lot of B-roll in there, and all of it was done on this camera at 720p at 60 frames a second. So having 720p at 240 frames a second, I actually thought that was a cool feature. 1080p at 60, that's awesome. So now they say it shoots 4K. but it's only 24p. And I know that a lot of people like to shoot in 24 because it is more film-like, which is absolutely correct. If you're doing like an indie film or something like that, 24p is great. And that gives you lots of really cool advantages. You can shoot with a lower shutter speed, which means you do better in low light. And you don't have to worry as much about motion blur. It's nicer. It looks better to the brain. However, YouTube is 30 frames a second. So I've seen lots and lots of footage that is uploaded at 24p that when YouTube transcodes it, looks kind of stilted. It's got kind of a choppy quality to it. I see this a lot in drone footage. YouTube just doesn't like 24 frames a second. And that's just from my personal experience. If you've got some great videos that are shot at 24p and that are uploaded to YouTube, I'd be happy to see them and feel free to change my mind. But I've not personally seen it, and I've had nothing but bad experience shooting at 24p and uploading to YouTube. But that's all it has is 24p. It doesn't shoot at 30, which is kind of a bummer. I would have thought that with the new Digic 8, they would have been able to give you 30 frames a second. I don't think this is a technical limitation. I think this is a marketing limitation. I think they want to make sure that they're not going to cannibalize some of their higher end cameras. It's got specifically the 6D. That would cannibalize the 6D. It's got the flip out screen, shoots in 4K, high res, lots of autofocus points, shoots at a high frame rate. But if you add in that 4K 30, boom, you've got the best vlogging camera there is. Now at 4K 24, I would say it's still passable for the best vlogging camera that Canon makes, especially if you have a considerable number of Canon lenses in your stable that you need to be able to use. But here's where it goes from, okay, I can live with that, to nope. And that is the dual pixel autofocus. So if you watched my unboxing video for the 6D Mark II, you know that I love my Canon 7D. I really do love this camera. It shoots at high frame rate, the pictures are phenomenal, the resolution is still great. I've still got lots of shutter left in this camera. But in video, the autofocus is non-existent. So in order to do a vlog like this or any sort of a video, I would actually have to try and figure out focus distances and pre-focus and put a prop in place, because I don't have anybody to help me, right? So I would literally like say, okay, I'm gonna put my face around the corner of the chair, so I'm gonna focus on the corner of the chair. And that made it really difficult to prepare videos like this, which is why, since I got this camera, I've been able to significantly increase both the quality and the quantity of videos that I make for YouTube and for myself. The Canon M50 mirrorless camera that shoots at 4K 24, that has the flip out screen, does not have dual pixel AF when shooting in 4K. I've heard a lot of people say it has dual pixel AF and it shoots in 4K. The dual pixel AF, the focus mechanism that Canon is just absolutely famous for. The thing that a lot of people say, you know what, I'm not worried about 4K because it's got that dual pixel autofocus, and I know that the focusing mechanism is going to be phenomenal when I'm doing vlogs and when I want to flip around my camera or do something else. Like, I know that it's going to be great. And I have been amazed at the quality that I get out of this camera with the dual pixel autofocus. Right now, I'm moving back and forth, I'm kind of moving around, I'm sliding around. This thing is locked on this mug right here. And it's doing an excellent job, and it has since I got it. However, without that, you're looking at phase detection AF, which is slow, it's not accurate, and I was actually watching a video that Peter McKinnon did, which I'll link in the description, where he was actually doing kind of an unboxing and talking about it. He switched to the 4K mode, and half the video it was focused on his stuff in the back. It wasn't on his face. I've been watching Peter McKinnon videos for like a year. He normally shoots with either his 1DX or he shoots with his C200. They never have any issues with autofocus. And the Canon 6D Mark II that he has shot with, that Casey Neistat shoots with, or the 80D that Casey Neistat has shot with, or the 6D Mark II that Maddie shoots with on travel fields. Those guys are shooting with a camera with the dual pixel AF, and it's working great. I was watching this video and it was just, I honestly had to stop watching. I couldn't the difference. It kept racking back and forth between his face and random stuff in the background. And I've only experienced that maybe once or twice. In my last video, this camera did it for the first time. And so while I was doing a video, and I just left it in there because honestly that video was terrible, so I don't even care. I hope you didn't watch it. But those are my thoughts. 4K, awesome. Wish it was 30p. The price, phenomenal. The size, the weight, amazing. The features, great. I mean, it's a Canon camera, right? So it's going to have all these really great features. It's going to have all the color science. It's going to have everything in it. And the 4K edition is great with the flip out screen. Vloggers are going nuts, but doesn't have dual pixel AF. I'm not sure if that's something that they're going to update with a firmware update. I think they should. I think that there should be a public outcry that they should, in addition to adding that 4K 30. I think that considering all the bad press that Canon has had recently about the fact that it hasn't released a camera with 4K other than the 1DX and the 5D Mark IV, I think they should do this purely from a marketing PR standpoint. I think it would be better. And then roll out new cameras. Roll out the 6D Mark III. Roll out the 90D. Roll out the the 5D Mark V, and come up with new features to entice people to buy cameras, not just features that everyone wishes they had and then they just fall just shy of the mark. So those are my thoughts. Also, actually, the crop on that thing is insane. I know that's the same thing they do on the 5D, but dang, you go from a 1.6 crop anyway to, I think it's almost double that. So really, this is a 24 mil. That'd be like a 70 mil. I'd have to be like back here for that to work. And I don't want to do that because then you see the belly, and that's not good. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the Canon 50, the new M50 mirrorless camera. Looks super cool. I'm excited for the direction that they're going. I hope they make some of these changes either in a firmware update or a quick rev to the market with a new model, maybe an M60. I know this particular model is not the top model for this particular line, so maybe they'll come out with an M6. And that'll be the one that we're looking for. But good direction that they're heading in. I'm excited for it. So stay tuned. If you like this video, go ahead and hit like, share it with your friends. If you've got friends who are curious about the M50 or the Canon mirrorless line, go ahead and share this with them if you would. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. I'm going to be doing a trip very, very soon. There's going to be lots of really cool video. I'm going to talk about that in another video. There's going to be a whole planning video. I'm going to tell you where I'm going. I have to pack. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.